Did you know that most impulse purchases driven by status or comparison lose their emotional high within a matter of days, yet the financial impact can linger for months or even for years? So today I'm going to help you protect your future finances and avoid becoming another person quietly funding a lifestyle designed to impress people who are not paying your bills. Have you ever bought something, felt amazing for about 6.5 minutes, and then felt slightly uncomfortable when you next checked your bank balance? Yeah, me too. Today's daily tip is really very simple, and it's also very powerful. I'm going to try and convince you as to the merits of waiting for 30 days before making an impulse or a status purchase. Anything that is about looking successful, feeling better in the moment, keeping up with other people. I want you to develop the ability to pause, to wait, and to let logic catch up with your emotion before your emotion drives you to press buy. And this habit alone can have an enormous impact on your financial future. Okay, I'm going to do a new segment called 10 Things to Know About This Habit, where I'm going to run through 10 things you may or may not know about waiting 30 days before you buy something. Number one, it physically strengthens your self-control circuits in the brain. Number two, it reduces emotional spending linked to stress and fatigue. Number three, it increases long-term happiness more than short-term purchases ever can. Number four, it trains you to separate wants from values. Number five, it builds the quiet confidence that money can't buy. Number six, it improves patience in other areas of your life. Number seven, it lowers background financial anxiety. Number eight, it stops lifestyle inflation before it even has a chance to begin. Number nine, it makes you a better negotiator and planner. And finally, number 10, it shifts your identity from being a consumer to being a strategist. So don't listen to this and think that this tip is a money trick. It's just an upgrade in your mindset. This is our classic reference back to short-term comfort, short-term instant gratification for long-term discomfort. Now, what I want to help you do through my channels, through my tips, through my podcast, through my pages, is to help you flip that dynamic on its head. I want you to experience what you would call minor discomfort now. So the frustration of having to wait 30 days to make a purchase, minor discomfort now for ultimate comfort later, which could be a completely different financial outlook. Your finances could look completely different if you find a way to incorporate this tip into your life and find a way to wait the 30 days and develop that behavior so that you can stop wasting money that you don't need to be spending. You can then put that money to much better use, and then you can allow time to help that money compound significantly. And that leads us nicely onto our win versus drift would you rather segment, where I'm going to give you a bunch of scenarios that involve winning versus drifting. And in your mind, whilst I'm talking, you can have a think about which one feels most relevant to you, or which resonates most with you, or which best represents where you currently are. And have a think at the same time about which one you would rather have. So, waiting 30 days for a status spend, win or drift, would you rather have 30 grand invested in 10 years' time, or cupboards full of stuff that you don't even use? Would you rather feel calm opening your banking app, or feel that little spike of panic every time you do so? Would you rather have complete control over your money, or let advertising control you? Would you rather build quiet confidence, or loud insecurity? Would you rather design your life, or constantly feel like you're patching it up? Now, be honest with yourself, because you are the only one answering these questions. Which one of these are you choosing most days? Because as we know, common sense does not always equal common action. And this is why even the most intelligent, capable people don't necessarily take advantage of habits like this. It's not because they're bad with money. It's because buying can feel like relief. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're overworked, when you feel undervalued, your brain looks for comfort, and spending gives you that short-term comfort. It gives you that short-term dopamine hit. It gives you that short-term instant gratification. It says, buy this now, feel better now, deal with tomorrow later. But the problem is that tomorrow always comes and comfort will always send us the bill later down the line. That is why willpower is not our best friend, but why systems like this daily tip are. And if you'd like a different way to think about that, let's think about a future version of you who does this habit versus a future version of you who doesn't do this habit. Which one of those versions do you think is going to be more calm in 5 years' time, more confident in 5 years' time, more secure in 5 years' time? And which one of those versions of you do you think is going to still be saying, oh, next year, I'll get round to it. I'll start doing things differently. Because every single time you choose to incorporate this tip or not, every time you ultimately make that purchase or not within the 30 days, you're casting a vote for which version of you you're going to get. So my question to you, if you want to think about it a different way, is which version of your future self are you going to be voting for from today? Because if you ignore this tip and always make the mistake to spend impulsively, you're probably going to find yourself being the one who is not feeling calmer, is not feeling more confident, is not feeling more secure. But if you are going to start using this tip from today, you may surprise yourself just how calm, how confident, how secure you could feel in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. You may not even recognize yourself. So let's play that out. Let's say you impulse spend 150 quid a month, money that you spend that you know you don't really definitely need to be spending, but you spend it to make yourself feel good in the moment, and you can feel and sense that it's like a short-term comfort thing, but it accumulates over time. So let's say 150 quid a month, £1,800 a year. That's £18,000 over 10 years, which if you're not spending and you just invest along that journey at £150 a month, that could be worth over 30 grand when you invest it over 10 years' time. Then you have to think about the mental cost on top, the stress, the worry, the second guessing, the ongoing anxiety related to these purchases, and whether or not you are in control of your finances, whether you're succumbing to things like the pressure of the marketing emails that come into your inbox. That is what impulse spending really costs. It's not just the money, it's the peace of mind that comes with the money. And so a tiny upgrade that I would recommend you use from today would be to just create a 30-day list in the Notes app in your phone. And then anytime you feel like you want something, add it into that note. Add it in, put today's date, and then just close the app down. And then every time you think of something new, go and add that in there with that day's date. And then if you want to do it really seriously, whenever you add something in, you can also set yourself a reminder in your calendar 30 days later to go back and check. But if you're like me, there's going to be so many things that you want to be buying that you're going to be checking the note quite a lot. So you'll have a pretty good idea of when the 30 days is going to lapse for each of the items. But get into the habit of writing it down on your phone and then closing the app, because even just taking that tiny bit of action, that tiny bit of control over the situation can have such a surprisingly positive impact. And what's amazing about this tip is that if you end up buying it anyway, then you know that you're buying it because you actually want it. And that's the best feeling, knowing that you're buying it with complete and utter intention and not out of impulse. They're two completely different scenarios, and you will feel like two completely different people, two different sets of emotions the following day, the following month, the following year. And that is completely fine if you end up making the purchase. But wait to make sure that you absolutely want it, you absolutely love it, you can absolutely afford it, and then absolutely buy it. Because a lot of the time you will not make the purchase because most of these items won't survive the 30-day wait. Okay, now I want to think more about the ripple effect of how this plays out. So let's just say you've started doing this from today. You've now built into your behavior this lovely 30-day sanity check, this 30-day wait before you make a status spend. So we pause before buying. So we spend less on day one than we would have done. Okay. So we save more than we would have done. We worry less than we would have done. We sleep better than we would have done. We think clearer than we would have done. We perform better than we would have done. We earn more than we would have done. We feel more in control than we would have done. So let's just go through that step by step. We spend less. We may still buy the product or the item or the experience, but we're not buying it on day one. So for that 30 days, we have more money in our bank account. So because we're spending less on day one, we're saving more on day one. Because we are still keeping complete control over this situation, we're worrying less. So we haven't got any buyer's remorse, for example. All we're doing is simply going through a little process of making sure that we definitely want something before we buy it. So we're going to worry less. Because we feel like we're in greater control, we're going to sleep better that night. Because we're going to sleep better that night, amongst many other benefits of sleep, which I'll bore you with in other podcasts, we're going to start thinking clearer the next day. And when we're thinking clearer the next day, we're probably going to turn up better the next day and perform better that next day. And if we keep turning up better and keep performing better, we're most likely going to start doing better in our careers. So we've got a good chance of earning more money. Then the more we earn, the more we're going to feel in control of our financial situation. So this is an example of a ripple effect that can play out over time. And like I always say, all of these ripple effects can be as big and as glorious as your consistency will allow them to be. Do this just once and it won't make any difference in the grand scheme of your life, but build it into your behavior, create a system in your life built around this tip, and you can allow this ripple effect to grow and grow and compound and compound and continue to work in your favor more and more with every passing year. Which brings me on nicely to my Mythbuster for today's episode, because a lot of people say, if I don't buy this now, I'm going to miss out. And I could not disagree more. You're missing out on your future freedom by buying it now on day one. And the people who are really winning in life don't rush with stuff like this. They choose deliberately, not impulsively. And this tip gives you the best of both worlds. It still gives you the option to make the purchase after the 30 days, but you do so feeling like you're actually in control than you would have been otherwise buying it on day one impulsively. So you either buy it with full conviction feeling amazing, or you save money and feel amazing. That is a daily win. And it's a daily win that also has a number of benefits in terms of ripple effects for your health, wealth, and happiness. So from a health perspective, waiting before you spend reduces financial stress. And financial stress is one of the biggest silent drivers of poor sleep, of high cortisol, of emotional eating, and low energy. Because when your money feels under control, your body feels safer. You sleep better, you recover better, you show up with more energy. From a wealth perspective, this habit quietly transforms your financial trajectory. You save money without feeling deprived, your emergency fund can grow, your investments can compound, your need to rely on debt reduces, you stop reacting, you start planning. And over time, you move from surviving month to month to building long-term freedom. And from a happiness perspective, something really powerful happens because you feel more confident. You regret far less things. You compare yourself to far less people. You trust yourself a lot more because you stop chasing validation through stuff and you start finding satisfaction through the progress that you're making. You feel calmer, you feel lighter, and you feel more intentional. And those are real, genuine ripple effects. It's not just about the money. It's not just about having more money. It's about having more control, more peace, more freedom in your life. So here's today's truth. Waiting 30 days is not about saying no. It's about saying yes to your future. Yes to being more calm. Yes to having more confidence. Yes to having more options. You're not becoming restrictive because you can still make the purchase if you want to. You're just becoming a lot more strategic. So if this has helped you, feel free to share it with somebody that you think impulse spends. You don't have to say, I'm sharing it with you because you're dreadful with money. Just say, heard this. You might find it really interesting. And if you would like to dive any deeper into this tip, you can always get your free guide that accompanies every daily tip that I do. You can drop me the keyword or send me a message on any of my platforms. And of course, you can always get your free copy of my foundation blueprint, which can help you spot exactly where you are currently drifting, where you're currently winning, and it'll give you a structure to help you track your new wins over time. I end each episode by asking you a question that you can answer in the comments below, and today's question is this. Thinking about the recent purchases that you have made, what is one status spend you would have made differently if you had waited 30 days before deciding? Have a think about it. Let me know what springs to mind in the comments below because I would love to hear from you. Big love, Big Daddy.